Welcome to another RES Wave update. So I'm going to give you the latest view on what's going on here. So basically, what I see happening here is we are in wave 5 right now. Okay, a break of that low made me look back at this pattern and assume that wave A, B, C, D, E occurred, which is alternation between this small wave 2 versus this expanded wave 4. Okay, so that means we need to make one more low, right? Which means we're going to see a low that will have to go below the end of wave D to make one more low before this thing starts moving higher. Okay, so even though it appears as though, you know, this thing could be moving lower like Bitcoin, I don't believe that's possible. And we're going to find out. So the straight up move that I've been talking about will have to happen after this move that's coming now. Okay, so we've had the confirmation of the break, and that only tells me that we are in wave 5. Okay, so basically it's like this. Wave 1 was the shortest. Wave 3 was the sharpest. Wave 4 will not be as sharp as wave 3. Okay, if this was wave 1, 2, 1, 2, this would be extremely sharp and it would drop way below and it would keep going down very fast. So yes, the analysis had its flaws, but this is the opportunity to understand what's going on. So basically we have to just make one more low here. Okay, this is alternation in play. Small wave 2, large wave 4. That's it. If this is wave 3, that looks correct, right? Now, so far, wave 5 is looking choppier than wave 3. Therefore, that can't be an even sharper move down, which I anticipate is going to happen in Bitcoin. Okay, so this is just merely a recount using certain levels which have been broken, which prove that the previous count was a misconception. Now, I hold XLM. I don't plan on selling XLM just because we're seeing a small correction, which is showing to me that it's getting weaker. Now, normally I see these types of moves in a C wave, an E wave, right? An E wave will typically start off more complex at the top and then go straight down and bounce, right? But in this case, it's not the same. It's a C wave that is basically short and sharp wave 2 with a complex wave 4. So if you take notice of how this plays out, if you see this move down become sharper than wave 3, okay, fine. You can assume that perhaps this was a 1-2 pattern, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. We haven't broken any rules here. We're just seeing alternation in play. So for me, we have to make one more low just below the end of wave D before this wave C ends. And then we can expect the move up that I've been talking about. And I believe that move will go straight up and won't do this sort of stuff, this sideways stuff. It'll be more impulsive and it'll go straight up. So that's the take at this point in time. Using the knowledge that I have, it didn't make sense that it broke that low. So therefore, as a margin trader, you would have had a small stop using low risk. But in this case, you could short this basically from this point. So as soon as we had a break of that line right there, right, you could basically short this with a stop above the last high, which is here. Okay, so green for entry, red for stop. Anything below the end of D will mean the end of the wave C, and that will mean that it's done. Now, the one thing that we can use now that we have this sort of information is that we can draw a parallel trend line from the end of wave 2 to the end of wave 4, and basically to the end of wave 3. Okay, now the only rule that can't be broken here is that wave 5 cannot be longer than wave 3. Okay, so wave 3 is pretty long. So if you try and measure that, which I haven't done, I'll try and do it now using a particular method that I use. Like so. I can give you a target. Okay. So this particular move can't go below 20 cents. And if you ask me, I reckon that's reasonable because this is a C wave, and even though it doesn't look sharp to me, when you're looking at a real bear market C wave, it's a lot sharper than this. It doesn't do this kind of correction. Okay, so target here, if you're margin trading, if you want to short, stop at 46 cents, entry point already executed, short to 20 cents, right? But if you're holding on, hold on. I don't see, apart from that, I could basically see this thing moving down along this trend line until it hits the lowest point and then bouncing. So I don't think it's going to be a very long. I don't think it's going to be as long as wave 3, but I'm just talking about what it can't do. If it becomes longer than wave 3, then this is a bear market move within a correction. Okay, but I don't think that's possible, and the reason why is because of the XLM BTC chart. Okay, so therefore 33535 means that here we're going to make one more low, but on the BTC chart it cannot go below this area here. Okay, so this is important because it's going to determine the whole picture for us. Therefore, I think we're just going to make one more low before we get that reversal. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is C wave hasn't ended yet, but when it does end, it'll reverse, right? So I understand that a lot of you may be thinking that, well, if Bitcoin's going down, that means XLM. I have to start that argument all over again. But before we do that, I'll tell you one thing. Let me go back to XLM, right? In order for us to confirm that this count is true and accurate, we have to see one more low, as I've explained, right? And then we have to see, I'll just get rid of these levels. The bounce has to come back above this red line here. Okay, the end of wave 4. If we see a break above this after the bounce down, it'll bounce up. It'll basically confirm that wave C is over, and then we should see a sharper move up compared to what we saw here. What I assumed was the start of the D wave was actually just an E wave that is part of wave 4, and this should get sharper. This move should move down sharper now until we hit the lows. Could be the midway point, the middle of the channel, somewhere just beneath the end of D wave. But I don't think this is going to go much further than that. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. But the whole point of me putting that red line there is if we broke it, we have to readjust our count. Okay, there is no way around it. And now that we're seeing this, I expect to see one more low. No rules will be broken. It'll be a straight 5-wave move. Simply put, the alternation between wave 2 and 4 means that wave 2 was short and shallow, and wave 4 was drawn out and deep. Okay, so let's see what happens on that one. This green line, I don't know what that is. Well, that's just basically something I did earlier. For some reason, I'm not sure. I'll just get rid of it. Yeah. Anyway, so one more low, and that would look like a more decent. That will look like more of a decent wave C, and then we'll continue higher to break the highs. So if you're a holder of XLM, don't sell it. This is just an update, and that's what I'm here to do. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.